What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Business Breakthrough. Today, I sit down with Mike Moon. He is a drywall contractor in Canada. Great guy, ready to take the reins of his business and really kind of get his dad out of production, start scaling, and awesome conversation about utilizing his father's skill in a different way, and really just being open to bringing in talent and really streamlining his process in his business. That's what the Contractor Secrets podcast is all about. So get ready. This is a great episode for scaling, systemizing, and really just shifting the mindset of utilizing resources to build your brand, free yourself from the production, and take control of your business. And it starts right now.
Contractors all over the world are wanting more time, more freedom, more impact. The way we do this is through implementing systems, processes, standards. Welcome to the Contractor Secrets podcast. Here we hit business strategy, coaching, mindset, motivation, the tools you need for success. So strap in, listen up, and get ready to grow on the Contractor Secrets podcast. What's going on, everyone? I'm here with Mike Moon of Moon Drywall and Interiors. What's happening, brother? Thank you for joining me on the Business Breakthrough, man. Tell me, why are you here, man? Tell me a little bit about your business, and then what's some areas that you're ready to grow, ready to hit on.
Thanks for having me. Well, been in business 14 months now. We started last summer. The first year was a pretty slow start. I had a lot I needed to learn. I've never really run a business before. Me and my dad are partners on it. He's been doing drywall a lot longer than I have, obviously. So he's more kind of the project manager side of things, and I handle more of the business kind of side of things.
Cool.
In the last couple weeks, things have gotten really stacked up for the fall. I've had to turn down 4 jobs in the last week because we just don't have the workforce to be able to keep those kind of promises. And it just kind of sucks because they're jobs that we would love to take otherwise. But yeah, we've been having to turn down because of that. And yeah, I guess our biggest problem now is hiring.
Got it. When you go to work every day, do you feel like, you can't do your job because of production? Like, in other words, like if your job is to be doing the sales, you feel like when you show up to estimates, you're not even confident. Like, you're just like, what's that look like?
Yeah, like it's hard to be able to promise a spot for somebody when you don't really know exactly what's going to happen when the time comes, right? So yeah, I would definitely say it kind of wears on my confidence to be able to actually make a promise to somebody, for sure.
Who's in charge? Is it still your dad or is it you?
It depends on what aspect you're talking about. Like with finances, different aspects of the business have somebody has a final say. So if it's just in terms of like what's going on site with the guys, then my dad has final say on that. With financial decisions and more of the administrative stuff, that's my side of things. And
Good. I like that dynamic. How many people work for you guys?
Right now we don't have any guys.
So it's just you two.
Yeah.
How long have you been in business? With you,
just
not
over
your dad.
We started it together about a year ago.
Have you ever hired anyone before in any other capacity? Have you been a manager of some other place? Have you done any sort of hiring ever?
We hired somebody last year. It didn't work out too well. We just hired them as a helper.
Did you hire them?
Yeah.
So your dad's idea of your hiring process isn't as good as it should be.
Yeah, I'd say it definitely needs improvement. Yeah.
So because the reason I say that is because some people who have told me these sort of scenarios, like dad is like one of those guys, he could do everything, and you bringing on somebody probably slowed him down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was like, Mike, I don't know who this guy is, but right. Is that kind of what happened?
Yeah, basically.
So, all right, cool. So let's kind of dial back a little bit when it comes to the hiring. So you did that one time and it was almost like, we can't slow down. This isn't going to work. And I'm going to tell you why. And this is going to probably not be an epiphany for you, but it's pretty obvious. It's like, you guys do some pretty hard stuff, right?
Yeah.
Drywall is not easy. Making texture look like it used to 20 years ago on a repair is not something you could just pull someone off the sidelines to do, right?
Yeah.
What other services do you guys offer?
We offer steel framing. That's not very common.
Holy cow.
My dad just really enjoys doing that still, so he wants to have that something we still offer. So we will offer that. We haven't done any of that. Mainly, it's drywall installation, finishing of the drywall. We'll do priming. I've wanted to get into painting, but I don't have anybody. I don't feel comfortable with us doing that ourselves for the final finish on the wall. I want to get a professional if we're going to actually offer that. And then also T-bar. We've done a couple T-bar ceilings, the suspended ceilings.
Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different businesses. That's the way I see it, right? You're
Yeah,
essentially your dad's agent, right? You're out there booking this man for work, and he's only able to do one job at a time, sometimes 1 to 2 weeks at a time. I'm not telling you things you don't know, but we need to set this up for you to be able to build your case to your father as to why you need to expand. And the severity of the issue is that you guys are losing a ton of money. And it's
yeah,
just because opportunities are knocking and you can't answer the door,
yeah,
and that's not good. So we know that. All right. We're not going to go there, but here's the deal. Okay. The hardest part about this whole scenario is the fact that you're trying to replace your dad, or at least finding him a helper. And he's been working alone for 20 years. That doesn't make sense.
yeah.
So right off the bat, we're not going to go into why you need to do this. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Okay. We have
Okay.
2 options here. Okay. The first thing is that you need to decide if you want to stick with drywall. If the market is that good for you guys for drywall, and it's one of those things that your phone's ringing almost every day for it. Is the phone ringing every day?
Yeah, in the last 2 weeks, I've booked almost 3 months of work.
Which is
So
horrible. So in a sense, just because you can't get to it, and it's probably frustrating because you want to get those jobs knocked out, right? You want to make it. Now, if you were to give me the types of drywall jobs that you guys are getting calls for, what would they be? Are they popcorn removal? Are they repairs? Are they full blowouts? What is it?
we don't we try not to take the smaller ones. I've turned down a lot of the smaller jobs because to be project where
Mike, I'm sorry, man. Your mic is
finishing.
Mike, your mic is your audio's lagging a little bit, man. If you could put the phone where it was earlier, I think we were fine there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I lost you a little bit, man. You want to rejoin and come back in?
Leave and then read.
There you go. Try that. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, just leave it there. I think that's a good spot.
Okay.
Yeah, so give me the top 4 that you guys are getting calls for.
Top 4 like projects.
Yeah, like drywall job types.
Yeah, so mainly they're all typically we install the board, finish the board, and then people typically like to get us to prime it too.
Okay, so install, finish, and prime on new construction
Yeah,
or remodel.
that's our typical job type for average size. Yeah.
So your dad is in there knocking out whole houses by himself.
Well, up until recently, I would be there helping him too. But the thing is, it wasn't until recently that I realized how much that makes me kind of neglect the other responsibilities that I have.
Sure.
Until I
So
actually, because
in
go
other
ahead.
words, your dad is knocking out these houses mostly by
Yeah,
himself. Right. Okay.
yeah. He
So
really needs help. Yeah,
we're in the red zone here. Okay. Here's the deal.
yeah,
All right. You have to decide what you're going to do, because you got to look out for the man's best interest. He's getting old, right? Body is a deteriorating asset, right? You got to really strategically plan for his retirement and for the growth of the company. I'm sure in 5 years from now, if this man were just driving around, checking on work, using his expertise that he's learned for 60 years to coach and teach others, that would be a better outcome for him. Would you agree?
yeah, for sure.
You can unlock that door. It's just a matter of your belief in a sense as to what and how you're going to do this, right? So the first thing is that drywall finishers do exist and they're looking for a good opportunity, right? Here's the deal. When you're hiring, Let me ask you this question. I'm going to ask you this. Just be honest, because I can't help you if you're not. Do you have a payroll system in place?
No.
Okay. Do you
We
have?
can I elaborate on that a little bit though?
Sure.
So I actually just am going through the process of incorporating. So in Canada, I guess for the states that might be like some uh like an S corp or something like that, right? I'm not sure what the equivalent is there, but I'm currently going through incorporating.
Okay.
So that once the lawyer said it's probably going to take a week or two. So
Okay.
once that's kind of finalized, then we'll actually be able to
Love
put
it.
ourselves and anybody new onto a
And
payroll.
that's what we want is where I'm getting at is that you want to be able to create a better opportunity. I tell people this all the time. It's like, that story of cash or check on Friday is the same story every other contractor or a large majority of them preach. You want to be different. And that's how you attract quality people with good character that will help you build a brand that you don't have to babysit. That other person that you hired, tell me how you found him.
I had an ad on Kijiji. That's kind of like our Craigslist.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I just had a job posting on there. Um, I think it might not have been specific enough. I mean, none of the people that were applying really had any kind of experience, which
Sure.
is okay for. I know that we need to train people up too, but it's very hard to. You can't take on four helpers. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
Sure. Well, here's
yeah.
part two of this. Here's part two of this is that, at the end of the day, you've got to have a talk with your father about what the vision is. It's like, hey, what are the roles that your father is best at? Is it hanging the drywall, or is it mudding and taping, or is it finishing? Which one does he love?
I'd say probably finishing is where he really excels.
That's where he thrives, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you need a drywall hanger, somebody that you can put on an ad to
Okay.
do hanging work so he can come in and do the finishing, right? So now you just split his workload in half. So in other words, now you have somebody that you can trust to go hang drywall at the next job, and then your dad is lagging behind him finishing the drywall. And what you're doing is you're just testing out that system to see if it works, right? But at least now you have a direction of what exactly you're looking for. So when you put out that ad, it's like, I'm looking for an experienced drywall finisher. And you could do this with any scenario, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to work your father out of the business, but we're not going to work him out of the business. In other words, what else is he going to do? And he's probably not the type of person that doesn't want to work. He's worked so much that he actually probably enjoys it. We don't want to do that, but what
Yeah.
we want to do is we want to optimize the business, right?
Yeah.
And in other words, what's also really cool is that because he's such an expert, when he's done finishing one job, he can go over and check the hanging of the other job, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now you
that's
have some.
kind of what we had discussed, is having him as like a project manager role and kind of helping out on site where needed and checking in on the various projects going on,
Right.
right?
Right. So in other words, but what I'm saying is that it's important that that anything you do in business, you've got to have, you got to have some clarity, right? Like in terms of hiring, because, if we say we want some people with drywall experience, dude, there's 18 different sectors of drywall that you could attract, but we want an expert that's good at hanging, because your dad doesn't have the patience, nor you, to be slowed down on this production process. So as much as I would love to say, bring someone off the street and teach him the process of hanging, that is not easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about pay. Are you willing to pay a good amount for good help? That's really important.
Yeah, I think compared to the area, our pay is very competitive. I know of several companies around that are paying experienced guys only $20 an hour.
Okay.
And for a crew leader, I'd be willing to pay 30.
Wow. And you know the
So
problem? The biggest problem here, Mike, is that no one knows about that. Okay. The people that are in their
okay.
job right now that don't have good leadership, the people that are in their job right now that feel as though they've been forgotten and just left to just work alone and have no support, no atmosphere, or no culture. They don't know about that when they're scrolling Kijiji or Indeed. I don't know if you guys have that. You should, right? You guys have Indeed up there?
Yeah, I have an ad on Indeed now too, actually.
Good.
Yeah, I took your advice on that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good idea, right? But now you should go back to that ad and say, looking for an experienced drywall finisher, right? Or hanger, excuse me, hanger. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, option number two. Now, look at this from my perspective. The reality of the situation is if you guys do 10 jobs, that means you have 10 paint jobs. And if you have 10 paint jobs of priming, that means you have 10 finish work paint jobs as well. So that's 20 jobs sitting in your hands. Okay. You need to start subbing out paint work. This can't be a negotiable. This needs
Okay.
to be something that is an add-on to your business. It's silly for you to just let that pass through the door. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, once you get the hang of recruiting individuals, you might want to build your own proprietary team, right? Your employees. But brother,
Yeah.
you're letting a lot of money slip through the cracks. You're working way too hard trying to come up with jobs when you could be finding one solid paint crew. Okay. What part of Canada are you in?
Ontario.
Ontario. Alex, if
Yeah.
you're listening in Ontario, you got to hit up Mike. He's
Yeah.
I
Do it.
hit him up. Ian, I don't know where you guys live. My buddies Ian and Alex are in Canada. They're my good friends. And I just had Alex on here. And I mean, what I'm saying is that there's painters out there that want to work with guys like you that don't want to have to
Okay.
find the work. And you just say,
Yeah.
hey, this is what it's paying. This is how much I'm going to take. Here, you knock it out for us. Right.
Okay.
Another thing for your father to project manage, right? So now his role has been split. Instead of him just head down all day, he now balances project management of a little bit of finish work and hanging. And then he's the middleman. He's the guy who's doing you know what I'm saying? You've got to draw out this system and then you got to put it into play. I mean, it's kind of that simple. You just got to have to
Okay.
vision
Now,
for it.
and you say that we should do subs for the painting. I think that subs are probably better for us right now than the
Right
employees
now.
because I'm not getting a lot of people actually going for I've been offering painting for probably 2 weeks now on my proposals. But nobody's really gone for it. Typically it's the
Mike,
husband
there's a
that I'm
difference
talking to about.
between brother. There's a difference between offering painting and selling painting. When you offer me painting and you have no painters, I can feel that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Part of you doesn't even want to sell it.
Yeah, that's true.
If I come in and you and me would be totally different. I have 10 painters ready to rock. You have none.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be like, hey,
Yeah.
we can get this painted for you. You know, we're gonna be able to do the walls. We'll do 2 coats on the walls. We're gonna knock out your trim, the doors, the ceiling, right? You're like, well, if you want painting, we could do it. You know, and that's
Yeah.
not, I'm just saying that's why. There's a lot
Yeah.
to that. I don't want you to have the misunderstanding of the market. When you have the production in business, confidence comes, right?
Yeah.
So don't let that be like a thing that you believe until you actually go through the process of having a solid painter and then tell me if it's not working. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Okay. So
it's possible.
how did what do you is there anything that you could kind of give me advice for like finding, because I haven't had even one applicant. So I've had the ad up on Indeed for probably I think 5 days now or something
Okay.
like that, and I
How
haven't
much are you
had
paying?
any interest. I haven't set the budget on that. I wanted to talk to you about that and what you kind of thought
So it's a
about that.
free ad,
Yeah,
a lot of
right now at
competition.
least. Yeah,
Yeah. So in other
yeah.
words, let me ask you a question. I want you to be honest with me. If if you could split your dad's workload in half, in other words, if you can find a rock star hanger and split your father's workload in half, how much would you pay for that person? What would you pay?
Like as like a finder's fee.
Yeah,
Uh, at
a
least a
high
few hundred
amount, right?
bucks.
It'd be
Yeah,
$1,000, right? I mean,
yeah,
easily, if you knew that this person would show up on time. So in other words, just look at it like that. It's like Indeed is your finder, right? Don't
okay,
skim out on spending money on hiring, bro. It's the best ROI. It is. It's the best ROI. It's in other words, you're putting money into a system that generates people that are interested in working with you, that could potentially free your father from all the hard work he's doing and give you the ability to start building a process and a system and a brand and a legacy. Dude, invaluable. So for me, I would say without a shadow of a doubt, it should be no less than $20 to $30 per day, especially at this stage in your business. You have the work. So it's not a matter of, oh, will I be able to keep this guy busy? No, you have the manager, which many people don't even have. Okay. You have the sales system in place. Dude, you're just missing a production piece. So hiring should be the biggest focus of your life, and recruiting on the subcontractor side. All you need is one painter, bro. You know what I do? If I need a subcontractor, which I very rarely do, but I do it for pressure washing, or if I need a handyman, I go on the local word of mouth groups and I go, hey, looking for a pressure washer. Does anyone have any recommendations? Bro, the best thing you can possibly do is get recommendations from homeowners that have had experiences with other painters, and they'll tag them. And if I see them tag them, I go to their website, I check out their page, I see if they're active, and then I call them and I say, hey, my name's Tanner. Hey, listen, I'm looking for a really good pressure washer to help me knock out some jobs. Would you be interested in getting a cup of coffee? I mean, it's never been easier. Like imagine doing that 20 years ago.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
one thing about the painting is, do you think that I should, like, if I'm having a subcontractor, should I have them quote it and then add a markup, or how should I handle that? Because I
Usually in
don't
new
want to.
construction, it's by square footage. You guys will come up with an
Yeah,
agreement
yeah.
of what the square footage pricing is, right?
Okay.
Typically, if the GC buys the paint, you got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Or if you're buying the paint, you got to figure that out. Best thing you can do is not care about the logistics and just do it and then make a mistake and then fix it. Right. So, in other words, like, don't get caught up thinking about the pricing and how much they're going to cost. Right now, you need to create a system, test it, see if it works, refine it. That's it. Don't think about the pricing. Don't think about how much they're going to charge. Don't think about even making money. Just say, hey, you know what? If I didn't make this decision, I would have let this paint job go. Even if I make $500, it's 500 more dollars for our company.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna write that. Taking some notes here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Now, so I can reach out and get a painter and talk to them about their like their pricing, so I can get mine dialed in, so I can actually give a quote for it, right? But I'm thinking that mainly, um, I mean, that doesn't become a pressing issue unless I actually sell a painting job, whereas I actually have a lot of drywall work coming. Like I'm booked till I've got one spot left in October, and then until then,
Well, the first
I'm
focus, Mike, needs to be getting your drywall optimized.
yeah,
Okay. It
yeah,
needs to
that's
be
what I'm
getting
talking about.
optimized. So don't worry about the painting yet. Don't do
Yeah,
both right now, right? The first thing is to figure out how you can create a system where your dad is just doing the finishing. Okay. That's it. You need a hanger. That's it. That's if you come away with just one thing from this meeting today, it's that you have until Friday to find a hanger, and you should be doing everything in your natural born power to find that person. It may even be calling other drywall companies and seeing if they're wanting to sub out from you guys the hanging portion of the job. Okay. I mean, it's
I
all
think
about,
that that would be the easiest one to find, because I have had postings in the past, like I said, and the one time I was specifically looking for finishers, because that's the most extensive part of the job, and it's harder to find people that can do it, and it takes more time. So I was looking for finishers, and I got a lot of people asking if I was hiring boarders, and I told them I would let them know in the future if I was. So I've got quite a few, probably half a dozen people that I could call
yeah.
today
Yeah. There's
and
got to be a
maybe get
certain,
something worked out.
but what I want to give you is just the direction. Like, just get this one individual, and that's going to solve a lot of problems for you guys. You're going to feel more of an incentive to professionalize your brand and your business. You're going to want that payroll set up. You're going to be more motivated to do these things that typically slip through the cracks when it's just you and your dad and there's not this outside accountability happening. Right. So,
Yeah,
you have a lot that you are going to do, but the first thing you need to do is get this hire under your belt, get a training system in place, have him work with your dad for a week and start doing this. It's going to create confidence in your sales, maybe even give you the confidence to market, to start even getting more, reps. Then you're going to have a little breathing room to start vetting subs for the painting. And now you're creating a solid system, you know? You may even go to
yeah.
the residential side and start selling paint jobs and subbing them out if you find a good sub that you really feel confident with.
Okay.
Anything else you want to hit on?
Um, you said you have a hiring course, right?
I do. Would you like it?
I would, yeah, I would love that if
I'll
you'd
send
be
it to
willing
you.
to send that over.
I
Yeah,
will.
okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Awesome, thank
So
you, I appreciate that.
the goal of hiring is a process, right? The goal of hiring is to create the perception that whoever is coming into your business, okay, this is very important, is leveling up in their life. Okay. If your
Yeah,
business is not a step up from the average contractor, then that's on you to figure out why. Because
yeah,
ultimately, anyone who is self-motivated, in other words, they get up, they go to work, they love to work, and they want to be there on time, they want to do their best. Anyone that has something to lose, which is, hey, if they don't work, their family won't eat, right? Somebody that strives to be the best they can be, that showcases character, that has all the attributes of someone that we would want to work autonomously and not have to be babysat, not have to be worried about. They want to feel as though that they're advancing in their life. And you can create that And you don't have to have benefits. You don't have to have all these immaculate things. But what I am saying is that you can create the perception. And I'm not saying that that's manipulative, as long as you meet the expectation when they hire, when they come on board. In other words, when you create the perception from that ad and then you message them after and say, hey, I'd like to schedule a brief phone interview with good pronunciation in your message, no typos and lowercase letters, as if you're a corporate company messaging them saying, please let us know what time works on Tuesday and the best phone number to reach you. And then you call exactly when you say you're going to call, and you have a structured outline of the questions that you ask. And then you have a structured process of what the next step would be of meeting you in person. And then from there, you have a structured process of what that interview process is going to be. That creates the perception that they are leveling up and the work that they're about to do is worth it, rather than, hey, can you start tomorrow? I have a job that you can come work on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, we
Big
got to get
difference.
rid of that,
Yeah.
So that's how you do it. And what you'll find is that only the people that are the ones that are going to really take advantage of the opportunity are the ones that are going to make it through that process, because it's a long process and it should take at least a week to get a solid hire in. And if they can wait a week and go through all of your steps and still be motivated, boom, you got someone good. And they're going to
Yeah.
hold that position in high regard because they earned it.
Yeah.
Only you can create that. Remember.
All right. Now, I think I remember you saying that like, at the last bit of your hiring process, you do a working interview.
I do.
What should that look like?
Well, I mean, everyone has a different working interview. For me, I'm looking just to make sure that everything they said was true. Are you going to show up on time? If you're not on time, are you going to call me to let you know what happened? I'm not that crazy. I just would like some notification, right?
Yeah.
Do you work well with my team? Do you come with drama? Are you on your phone the whole time? Right? Are you, like, this is your chance to just vet in the game, right? You give somebody an opportunity to play in the game. And it doesn't have to be 7 days. It could be, we'll usually know the first day, but I'll say, hey, it's a 1 week working interview. And then I'll just meet with them on Friday and say, hey, you passed. Or sometimes I'll even call them on Wednesday and say, dude, you're a rock star. You're in, so that's just I call it an insurance policy.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So don't overthink it, man. Come back in a month. Hit me up. Let me know how it went. We'll do another one of these, but just don't
All right.
overthink these things. You got to take risks. If you don't risk it, you don't get the biscuit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
All right. Yeah.
saying? Anything else, man? Are we you good with all that for right now?
I think that's all good for now. I think
Is this
that'll
helpful?
do. Yeah, that solves the main problems, I think. So
Let's go.
we'll see what happens in a month.
Are you
I'd
fired? Are
be
you
down to do
fired
that.
up?
Sure. Yeah, man. I appreciate that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Take care.
See you.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to that business breakthrough. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transition this episode to a testimonial. That's right. So, one of our awesome Dripjobs users was kind enough to do a short testimonial for us. I asked him some questions that I'm sure a lot of us have about what Dripjobs is it valuable? So, if you would like to sit and listen to this, I'd appreciate it. You can sit, hang around, and hear what one of our very happy clients has to say about Dripjobs for his business.
What's up, everyone? I'm here with Holly Barlow. She is a Dripjobs, what we call pro user, just killing it. And she agreed to come on here and just share a little bit about how you're using it. We love to get more female entrepreneurs, in the painting space utilizing it. So, maybe this will resonate with them, which we're excited about. So tell me a little bit about how Dripjobs is working for you right now in your business. How's it helping you?
I am loving it, because one thing that I've learned through using this is follow-up is key, because it's something that I'm so busy and like overwhelmed with estimates and things that this does it for me. And so then all of a sudden I'm getting replies that I forgot that Dripjobs asked for me. And I was like, oh, look at that. And so it's really helpful, because I know it's got to be frustrating trying to get a hold of a contractor right now, any contractor, and to feel ghosted is never what anybody wants to feel. And so that's really helpful. And actually, even asking the question, if I didn't get the bid, I'm not
Right.
one to ask why.
Right.
but it asks for me, so I can't even chicken out. And
That's it.
I'm actually getting good feedback from the well, potential clients that I
Sure.
missed, or you know. So yeah, I'm really appreciating the communication it helps me to have.
Sure. Yeah. What were you doing before? What software were you using before?
Nothing. Well,
Nothing.
I would use Square to send out estimates,
Yeah.
and then just text messaging, and then my phone would just be blowing up all the time.
Gotcha. So this is like opened up a portal of like organization, communication, easy to use, would you say? Easy to adopt?
Yes, it took some time to figure out how to make it my own, like words, a few of those things.
Sure.
But once you get it figured out, yeah, it's just all automatic, and
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. How do you like the proposal builder? We have a new option feature. I don't know if you've seen that, but that's something we're excited about. Are you, is it easy to build proposals pretty much?
Yes, that being able to have all the details filled in and not having to type it out every time that's right there.
I love it. And then the booking link. So that's another really big piece. Do you send people that link whenever they call you, or how have you been doing that, getting them into the system?
Yes, that's right on my website, which you helped me connect,
Yeah.
which I like. And so honestly, my voicemail sends them to my website, and my website sends them to this link.
And boom, and then you just get an email that says, hey, you have a new request.
Yep.
Can't beat it.
Yeah.
Listen, there's one more question I always ask with these. We try to keep them short, sweet, and to the point. If there was someone out there on the fence, and they were in your shoes, I know that it took you a little while to kind of give me a shot. When we first started, I know you were excited about it. What would you say to somebody that's on the fence about this in terms of like wanting to, elevate their business, their professionalism, their organization? What advice would you give them?
I would say it's great because I've received jobs just from the follow-up, even after I thought I kind of lost them, but then this follows up and they're like, actually, okay. So I made money back already. And then also figured out budget wise, how much I was paying someone to go through all my emails with my estimator. And this just streamlines everything, and they can even log in and see all the pending estimates and all that, and skip a step. And yeah.
Love that. Holly, I always appreciate chatting with you. Thank you for your help in the group too. You're awesome.
Yeah.
And best of luck on your continued journey, and keep rocking and rolling.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much.